Alright, this is my first video. Very first video, so a little nervous. You see a lot of those off-grid and homestead and type videos. This is for those that don't have the ability yet to do that. Do what you can where you're at. Okay, so this is inside of my greenhouse. The middle I'm transitioning back into rock. I had the mats and stuff, but I didn't like it. Didn't seem like it worked for me. All right, over here, you can see my tomatoes. My grow beds are 3 foot wide. So, and my walkway is about 2 foot. So you can see how big those tomato plants are. I'm still getting quite a few tomatoes on it. And it's November something, 6. So, gonna show you a little bit what I have going on. I use tilapia over here. I don't know if you can see the fish down there, but those are baby tilapia. In the back, that's where the adults go. And then I have it's called the chop system, which is constant height, 1 pump. So everything is automatic. When this fills up to a certain height, it'll get more pressure on this side and it'll suck all the water out. So this grow bed will fill up, or both grow beds, they're all hooked together. If you can see back there, the little pieces where all the tanks are hooked together. So both of these grow beds get about the same amount of water going through them every hour. It takes about an hour and then they dump. So when they dump, this one looks like it's getting pretty full. It spills out down here, and then I have a pump down here, and you can see the hose there. It fills back up. So these always stay the same height. They're always the same height, and this pump's always running and filling this up. When this fills up to about an inch or two from the top, it'll flush. You don't want to fill all the way to the top. You want your rock always dry so you don't get mildew problems and all that kind of stuff. So I've got what's that back there? Some bitter herbs, some dill, lemongrass, I think, if I remember right. Some eggplants, tomatoes, all kinds of stuff. And then here, I've got a shelf here where I get my stuff started. I get it started here, and then when I get big enough where its roots can reach down into the water when it fills up every hour, then I'll transplant it over there. So this is only about a month or so old. This is blackberry, I think. And then this is Naragia. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It's prickly and kind of a weird little plant. And then I don't remember what this one is, but it's a fruit-bearing plant. And then here I've got some cuttings growing for our friends. Next time they come visit, I've got some mint and some oregano, and I think some wonderberry, I think is what this one's called. So underneath here I have some koi, and then if you notice all the duckweed, the fish can eat that, so I don't have to buy them fish food all the time. Here's my tanks. Like I said, they're all connected together. I'll probably leave these like they are. I didn't like them in the middle. This was full, just like that mat is there. It was full all the way across. and I wasn't getting good results. And I'm not sure if I just didn't have enough air room in there or what. But these IBCs can hold about 88 tilapia each. And like I said, the the duckweed, they will eat that. Tilapia are vegetarian. They don't really eat anything, bugs or much really of anything. They like that the moss that grows on the side of your tank and stuff like duckweed. So growing that to feed them. And not sure what else to highlight here. This is basically what some people would call a walipini. I use cinder blocks in it. I put in hog panels to grow stuff up the back so I can have something to grow on. Feel free to leave comments. I'm probably walking around too much and making you feel dizzy. I've got pickles growing, Swiss chard. For some reason the Swiss chard is doing really good. My dills are getting a little yellow leaves. I think the pH is too high for them. My fish love a pH of 7. And that's pretty much what I keep it at. But I think for some of these, that's a little acidic. And I don't know if you can see or not, but it looks like I already have dill pickles coming in. Looks pretty good. I did all the block work myself. Well, most of it myself. I had some friends help me out. I did the mono trusses by myself. Put in hog panels in the back here too for stuff to climb up. My spaghetti squash goes crazy and will take almost this whole wall. Just one or two plants will just take over in here. Did the electrical myself. Got a fan that's controlled by humidity and temperature, so if it gets up, and you can change it quite a bit, so if it gets up in the winter I have it set for like 90 degrees because I don't want it kicking on unless it gets really humid in here. I had that for in here for when I was getting some fish and cleaning out my tanks. So I guess the point is, even if like right now there's no way I could afford to buy property and stuff like that. I need to get my house finished, put a deck on and do some other stuff, and then hopefully I can sell it and we can maybe move into a trailer or something until I can afford some property, build a house and stuff. But do what you can where you're at, and like I said, you don't need the cinder blocks. You could do a walipini without it, depending on your soil type and that kind of stuff. You can take a look at those online. I do all my own composting and stuff in here, and then some of these, if you can see, I take the duckweed and I dry it out in the sun, and then I store it in here, so that way even if they end up eating all my duckweed, I'll still have a bunch saved up. This stuff grows pretty crazy, but there is a certain point where you have enough fish where the duckweed can't keep up. It does grow pretty good and pretty quick, but at some point it won't be able to keep up. So I'm trying to dry it while I have plenty for when I don't. These are zucchinis. I got onions and cilantro, I think. Or not cilantro, but chives. And then I've got some beans, or peas I mean, that are growing. And I didn't know this, but you don't want to plant your peas next to your onions. They're not doing as good as I think they should be. Next time I'll plant them somewhere else, but I don't want to rip these ones up and put them anywhere yet. Okay, so we got this just started tripping if you just saw it. So like I said, it does it automatically. And then it comes out here. And then I got the hose in there because my water, I make sure it's full. Every once in a while it'll evaporate. Something else you may notice in here, I've got what they call a rocket stove. I got the cover on it right now so you can sit, it's kind of a chair. But you start your rocket stove in here, you put your sticks and stuff vertical here, it burns across to this chamber, it comes up in the middle of this one, and then it comes over the top and goes back down, and then out here and around through the sand, and then up through here. So this thing will get, the top of this will get like white hot with just in a couple minutes. This is an old tank from a hot water heater. I just cut, put the two sections over the top of each other. It doesn't leak draw or leak any smoke. I've got a clean out there if I ever need to use it. I could take the top of this off and clean it out if I had to. And then I have another clean out right here. So I could clean out all of my pipe. And I bet it's almost 80 degrees in here right now. And it's probably maybe 70 outside, and it's it's a little windy out there right now, a little cool. We have some chickens. Well, like I said, our goal is to move out of town and, you know, maybe get 40, 60, however much acreage we can afford. We're in a weird area where everybody wants twice what their land is worth. I guess maybe that's everywhere. Leave comments, hopefully good ones, in the comment section. Like I said, this is my first one, so give me feedback on what I could be doing different, or if you want to know something else or different. I eventually want to do strawberries up in the rafters, and I could put a few more plants in here, and hopefully I'll get that middle done soon and be able to plant some lettuce and stuff in there. All right, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll do another one of these days.